have the access? Sorry. Awesome. So tonight we're just going to have a little bit of a casual conversation about coaching, and most importantly, kind of dispel some of the myths. I've received a lot of questions lately about coaching and it being a sales opportunity, and that kind of sits uneasy with me. So that's kind of going to be the focus on what I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight. And to be honest with you, I think I've shared with a couple of you that I don't, honestly, I wouldn't even know how to approach something if it were for sales. So I want to share a little bit about why I got into this opportunity and what it means to me and why I believe it's a good fit for anybody. So it's not a type of person that needs to be in this business. It's going to work and fit in anyone's lifestyle. So just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that. Without draining my story completely as to why I'm here, I'll give you guys a quick overview, but I'm really here for the community. So that's kind of why I got into this. I needed the accountability, and I still need the accountability for workouts and eating healthy, especially right now because my life is so crazy. I'm really trying hard to use the accountability groups and the community to stay on track because I think it would be really easy when life gets busy to fall off the rails. Especially with my nutrition. That's always like my number one kind of thing that I can just say, oh, it's okay, I'll start fresh tomorrow. So that's kind of why I got started. I was at a time in my life where things were kind of slowing down a little bit for me. I was in a good spot with my career. I had just gotten married. My friendships were all strong and solid, but there was something that was missing. And I didn't know that it was Beachbody, but I knew I needed something. So I started this fitness program and really just kind of went all in with the coaching opportunity and sharing that with other people. And so that's going to be a little bit, after Claire shares a little bit about why she got started with Beachbody, that's kind of what I want to focus on, is the ability to share this with other people without thinking that it's this big hairy beast, because I think that that's a lot of times what scares people away is they're like, well, I don't know how to talk about things. Really, all you have to do is talk about what you're doing and sharing it with others. So I'll touch upon that after. I do have some notes that I want to share with you guys, but I want to give Claire the opportunity to share a little bit about why she got started, and her story is a little bit different than mine. So
yeah, without taking you through kind of like the forever long version of my story, I got started for the health and fitness side of things. Was my main driver of why I signed up, because I needed to lose weight. I actually made a post about this earlier tonight, so I want to kind of lead with that, was that I was just like you guys. I thought that coaching was like this insane thing. I thought it was this, some salesy gig. Honestly, when I saw my coach's posts, all I could think was, she's paying a hell of a lot of money for some crazy shake, and I can't afford that, and I'm not going to be sucked into some kind of crazy scheme. And I didn't care about what it was. I had no interest in it. I was a full-time grad student getting my master's in counseling. I work in mental health. I have for almost 4 years now. I don't make a lot of money, but I had a good job. I was in my field. I was kind of doing what I was supposed to do, in like left foot, right foot, But I was very stressed. It's a very hard field to work in. So we talk in the mental health, we talk about self-care a lot. Well, my self-care was pizza, wine, and beer. And that didn't get me anywhere. I was drinking multiple nights a week, not to the point of getting drunk every night or anything like that. But, my point is that, I thought I was being healthy by having veggies, carbs, and protein for dinner, but then having cookies, chips, beer, wine, and pizza, in addition to that. So my life was severely out of balance. And honestly, I needed this community, this accountability, this support, and this structure to help bring more structure to my life that I did not have. So what I was doing was not working. And I was a big gym rat before this. I was a big half marathon trainer. I was training. I wasn't training other people. So I was big into those things. I was your girl that was obsessed with spin classes. I paid for the expensive yoga studio, the expensive spin studio. but honestly, it wasn't working for me. And so ultimately, when I was signing up, I actually became a challenger and a coach the exact same day when I bought Shakeology, my fitness program, which was a 21-day fix, because my coach told me that I could pay for my monthly shake, if I just helped 3 people a month. And honestly, that is exactly why I became a coach, because I was like, I cannot afford this shake. And I knew that I needed it. I knew that I needed a change, and I was willing to do whatever it took to change my health and fitness. So I was terrified with what the hell I was signing up to, but I knew that paying for the shake wasn't an option. And, I'll get into this a little bit later, but I'll kind of give you my Cinderella story that I've never had to pay for a month of Shakeology ever since I became a coach. So income disclaimer real quick. Beachbody does not guarantee any form of income whatsoever. Each person's level of success, even between Nicole and I, is very different. It kind of depends on your own level of diligence, hustle, hard work, and all of that. So that's just a little glossing over of my story. But Nicole, I'll throw it back to you to kind of start getting into some of our talking points.
Yeah, so that's really actually a good segue into what I was going to touch upon. So when I started, I told you guys, I was in this for the community, and that's really the reason I continue to push through, especially as I'm sitting here facing, in 3 weeks' time, a cross-country move away from everything I've ever known. I'm going to rely on this community so much more as a result, and that is really my driving force behind building this community and making it even larger, because whatever part of New Hampshire I can take with me, I'm going to try to take. So whether or not that's, a fitness community or, a coaching kind of network, I'm cool with any of that because it's comfortable for me and it's something that will stay consistent. So when I think about explaining coaching to someone, I get a lot of questions like, well, what is it exactly that you're even doing? So I'm sharing my story with people, telling them why I got involved, telling them what it's done for me from a physical standpoint, as well as a mental standpoint, an emotional standpoint, and a financial standpoint. And I'm going to touch on that pretty lightly, just because I don't necessarily think that that is a reason that a lot of people get involved in this. And sure, it's the bells and whistles and the money is nice. But if that's your driving force, then probably you want to reevaluate, what else is it that's enticing you about this opportunity? So, we connect with people, as you guys probably all know. I think you're all in challenge groups, and a lot of people that are interested in Beachbody know about it because they signed up to be part of a fitness program, or they're drinking Shakeology, or both. So they're in challenge groups. We run challenge groups. We keep people engaged. We encourage them. We hold them accountable. We share our fitness tips and tricks with them. We make sure to provide value first and foremost. So Claire and I run these monthly groups for people because we want to help them. And if we're not providing value, there's really no point in them being in the group. We want to make sure that we're giving them something and giving back to people who are investing in themselves. So that's a little bit about that piece. But then as part of our team, so Claire and I each have individual teams, and we work a lot together and have our teams work a lot together. But we really do a great job at encouraging other people to do the same. So giving them the tools and the resources that they need to run those types of groups on their own and to provide value, not only within their teams, but in their communities, in their day jobs, because oftentimes, many people work full-time jobs and do this on the side. So just really making a life change through this. What coaching is not: knocking down people's doors saying you need to buy this shake, you need to work out, you need to do it 6 days a week, you need to do it 50 minutes a day. It's not that. It's what they want to do, and you're just in their corner to be their support system and their accountability partner and their friend, their resource, and really just grow with them on this journey. So don't for a second think that it's a sales scheme or a pyramid scheme. A little bit about that pyramid scheme comment, and Claire, I think you've gotten a lot of this too. Mm-hmm. It's not a pyramid scheme. So any coaches that are in my network that kind of sign up with me or beneath me or under me or however you want to say it, sign up after me essentially is where I'm going with this, can surpass my level of success any day. They can surpass it tonight, they can surpass it tomorrow, and that doesn't impact me in the least. Their level of success is based on how hard they want to work, and vice versa for me. And as Claire mentioned, Beachbody doesn't guarantee any type of income, but they will reward you for leading a great team. So it's all about your leadership and how hard you want to hustle, and that's how far you're going to get in the financial realm. So we're not going to talk about numbers or anything like that tonight, because it's super overwhelming and it's hard to get into that. We could have a whole call just about that piece, but just know that if you set forth to help people, the financial stuff kind of comes automatically. And it's never a result of having to achieve certain numbers every month or anything like that. It's really based on what you want to do and how many people you want to help as a result of this opportunity.
Absolutely. And I'm going to I'll segue into our next topic, but kind of piggybacking off of that, that was my first objection to my coach, because I was appealed to the idea of, okay, paying this forward, helping 3 people. But I was like, look, I pushed it back because I was like, oh, I'm dropping things and fidgeting too much. That's also what coaching is, by the way. Computers breaking, dropping things. That's 100% what coaching is. No, I said to her, I was like, I am super busy. I was like, I cannot have an extra thing on my plate of worrying about meeting like sales quotas. I was like, I cannot worry about this. She's like, just help 3 people. And when she said it that way, I was like, oh, okay, 3 people, We don't take that lightly, because it's not always an easy task. We're never going to sit here and say coaching is easy, because it's not. I think people have a hard time when they think, oh, it's, you just sign up 3 people and you make money, and then they get really frustrated when they don't see that happening, and then they quit. Because it really, being a coach, there is a lot of the behind the scenes work that we do. It means being persistent. It means, working on yourself. I'm getting a little far ahead. But anyway, so I just wanted to say that. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, one of them, other than, kind of talking about what coaching is, the next piece a lot of girls ask us is, how much time does it take? And I love answering this, because I think that I have the grounds to be the poster child for that. I've earned that right. So giving you, again, another quick glossing over my story. When I first started this business, guys, when I first became a coach, I was a full-time grad student. I was working my job 30 hours a week, 3 days a week, interning 2 days a week, planning my wedding. I was also the maid of honor for my best friend's wedding, who was getting married 2 weeks before me, so helping her with that, and coaching, and attempting to be somewhat present fiance and taking care of our new puppy. So I had a lot of stuff going on, and but the reason why I was here goes back to the fact that I knew that my health and fitness was at the center of all of this, and if I didn't have that in line at all, everything else is going to fall apart. Because I'm the kind of person, I think a lot of us can relate, like, if I feel gross, fat, and flabby, like, my confidence is just gone, and I just cannot operate as a human being. And so I knew I needed that, especially in the year before my wedding. So that's what kept me here, despite all the fighting and trying times. So when it comes to time, it's actually really funny, because we had a call on time management last night on our team call. We bring all of our new coaches in, and we get you started in what we call a 7-day quick start training. It's kind of like, there's like Nicole and I run it kind of similarly, but generally it's like 7 assignments that you have to do within about a 2-week, month-long period max. So you get started with training, and then basically, like, Nicole and I mean, the amount of time that we put in our business now is going to look different than a brand new coach. I'm at a point in my business, I've been doing this for over 1.5 years now. I put in easily at least 2 to 3 hours, maybe more some days a week, but that 2 hours a day, sorry, at least. But when I first started, I could only do an hour, like 30 minutes an hour. And you can literally run this business in an hour a day. And that's exactly what we've done. And we're not always perfect. You know, there's plenty of times where I give myself the weekend off. I preach to my team, do it this Monday through Friday, no matter what. Make that your non-negotiable. Like, you should be doing no less than that, because this is a business that you are the boss. So if you don't show up, your business won't show up. So you are the driving force. So it can be a tough pill to swallow when you are your own self-motivator, because that's definitely where I know I fall short on the most, is knowing that, like, man, I have to hold the gun to my head kind of deal. Like, can someone else do that for me? But so yeah, it does. So I'll sit here and tell you, yeah, like it takes discipline. It takes time management to be able to do that, you know, but we also provide you guys with the tools and resources and the know-how to help teach you how to do the activities that we do. And we're not going to get into like all the specific, like we call it, you know, we call it our power hour. We're not going to get into all the nitty gritty of how that breaks down and things like that. But we teach you guys how to do that and how to make it effective and fast for you. And that's what I've been doing with all of my coaches. When and I think Nicole has a similar system too with her new coaches. All of the coaches that get started on my team, not only do I get them started with training, but I get them started with weekly one-on-ones with me. They're only 20 minutes long, but it allows me to get to know where they're at. And I talk to them every week and I say, you know, I was like, I want to respect your time because I don't want to take time away from your life and your evening and things like that. But I expect, you know, I'm carving this time out for me to be there for you. I expect you to do the same. So, but by doing this, it allows me to help you work on your business where you're at. So you don't just come into this business and I'm like, okay, bye, see you, go do what you need to do. Like, we work with you guys one-on-one, but we expect that, you know, you show up to your one-on-ones. We expect that you show up to the team calls that we have weekly. And we expect that you will put in the work, not only to your training, but to your daily work. And I mean that saying that, you know, if you say that you want to help 3 people a month, for instance, if one of your goals is to pay off your Shakeology, like a lot of us maybe, then we expect that you'll do the work. And if you don't do the work, then don't complain to us, kind of thing, if you're not getting the results you don't like. But that's kind of like my little bit of my tough love. But you know, I realize I hope I'm not scaring anybody away. I wanted to be super honest with, you know, what it is that we do. But it kind of just goes back to the fact that, kind of like what Nicole said, like one of my biggest focuses right now, it's like my challenge group and my team. You know, there's the daily business activities that I do every day, but like I get those moments when I'm like, man, I'm so busy. Like that coaching is like the extra thing in my life. But when I talk to my challengers and they tell me like how hard they've been working, and even Nicole, your challengers, when I get to interact with them in our challenge group, I'm like, man, this thing really works that we do, and we get to be their coaches and we get to help guide them through this, you know, and that's a blessing, you know. And Nicole and I may not be in our businesses where we want to be yet, but I was like, man, the fact that this is my side gig, this gives me so much passion and purpose and excitement. And I love that I get to be these girls' leaders, and I feel so blessed that they entrusted me to do this for them, because I'm not a fitness professional. I'm not a licensed dietitian or physical therapist or trainer, but I do have to say it gives my life so much passion and purpose now that I'm married and I'm done with grad school and I'm just working. Like I freaking love it. So I just had to give that plug.
Yeah, no, that was great. And I only have one more thing to share. I don't want to keep you guys much past 9 because I know it's a weeknight and you guys have kids and families and spouses. But just to piggyback off of what Claire shared on time management, we're all busy, but just like anything else in life, you're only going to get in you're only going to get out of it what you put in. So just keep that in mind. No one's going to be pushing you, you know, unless you want to be pushed, but you need to be clear with yourself and recognize what your goals are, and we'll be there standing behind you and helping you along the way if your goals are something that, you know, you need to achieve and you want to achieve. So just keep that in mind. And then the only other thing I wanted to touch upon that is a huge question is people will say to me, how can I coach anyone? I'm not at my goal weight. How am I going to inspire anybody? I haven't reached my goals yet. So I'm going to be completely candid with you guys. Supermodels are not inspiring. What's inspiring is real life women, real life men. People relate to people. People with struggles relate to people with struggles. None of us are perfect. I have not worked out today. It's 9:02. I have not done it. So I'm real. Like I have struggles too, and I don't ever want to come across as perfect or someone who doesn't miss workouts or someone who eats 100% healthy. We just have to share that stuff with people and let them know that we're not perfect. If you're at the end of your fitness journey, no one's going to relate to you. You always have to be pushing to be your best self, and that's going to attract people that are just like you. So don't ever feel like you have to be at your goal weight or in your goal pant size or your nutrition has to be 100% perfect in order to reach other people, because that's simply not the case. And if that were the case, you guys wouldn't be on this call because you wouldn't be able to relate to me or to Claire. So that's what I wanted to leave you guys with, because I think that is super important. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone kind of gets that piece, because it's a huge thing that's kind of left unspoken.
Absolutely. And actually, Nicole, I completely forgot about that too. That was one of my other big objections to my coach. And I was like, well, because before Nicole and I have this, very similar story. We both signed as challengers and coaches like the exact same day, because we both had that same intuition apparently. But I had like 15-20 pounds to lose on day one, and I was like, how the hell am I going to bust down this door and say I'm a coach and do this now, But just like Nicole said, people are inspired by people. And I still remember the first few people that I helped, and some of those girls are still with me today because they not only did they just believe in me, but they related to me so much that they saw that this is what would help them too. And they're my lifers, and they've been with me for, almost 2 years now as a result. So, it's amazing to see the impact that you can have on other people's lives just by being there for them, just by creating this community of support for them. And you get to be that driving force. And like Nicole said, we're not really going to get into big numbers and stuff like that, but I just kind of, before we wrap up, I really just kind of want to leave it with, and bear with me for a moment because I know this is super cliche, but coaching has allowed me to dream again. And I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like we live in a world where you go to school, you're told to go to college, you're told to pick a degree, you're told to pick a career. And for a lot of us, we're told, pick a career that will make money and be successful for you, not to follow your passions, not to follow your dreams, not to become the singer, actor, artist, dancer, that you thought you wanted to be when you were a kid. Find a job that makes you money, that you'll get stability, that you'll be able to support your future family or whatever one day. And that's, I feel like I think all of us have done that. We went to college, we got a job, we're in our careers, or I don't really know if I'm in my career. I have no idea, but I'm working. And, when I discovered, I'll still never forget, like a year or two before I became a coach, but this is when I was doing my half marathon training, and I was getting into healthy eating, or what I thought was healthy eating. I was eating a whole avocado with dinner, which I guess isn't awful for you, but just gives you an idea of the portion sizes I was using. But I remember saying, man, if I could just work out and cook for a living, that would be amazing. Man, I should have had that on my vision board, Nicole, years ago.
Yeah, there you go.
But my point is that I thought that was a joke, because I was like, who am I? I never thought I could be a personal trainer, and I'm not, and that's not really what I aspire to be. But, it's allowed me to be like, hey, I can really impact people from my house. I don't have to leave here. I don't have to go drive out anywhere. I can talk to people online. I get to email and call and text, all of my challengers and my team. I get to run this business without leaving my house. I got to run this business, in snowstorms, in all kinds of crazy weather while traveling. This business, you can do this wherever. And it's allowed me to dream in ways that I honestly never thought I would ever dream. I've made some pretty, like, I don't know, crazy or scary decisions over the last year, but honestly, my huge goal is to become a full-time coach one day, to have this business match my current income so that one day, when we do start a family, I get to be, not only do I aspire to be a stay-at-home mom, I aspire to be a working mom, because that was always my dream, to be a working mom. I never envisioned myself as a stay-at-home mom, but coaching has allowed me to dream, and not only dream, but believe that that's true, because I am my own boss and I'm the driver of what I do. And again, my dreams are not your dreams. I'm not saying that by any means, but I see this time and time again from coaches and even my own like sponsors and mentors and uplines in this business. They've allowed me to realize, like, hey, there are girls just like me that are doing this and changing not only their health and fitness, but their lives and their families' lives. And honestly, like, that's what I want to do. And I never realized, like, if you told me 2 years ago, did I want to do this? I would have been like, hell no. But coaching has given me that light and that inspiration, I guess, if you say. So I kind of just wanted to leave you with that. Like, you never know where this business could take you, and everyone's whys and reasons are going to be different than like mine and Nicole's, but I never realized how awesome it was to be able to dream again. So just kind of wanted to leave you guys with that.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Well, I want to stay good to my promise and give you guys the rest of your night to unwind and relax, but what we'll do is we will send this video out to you guys just in case you want to go back and kind of rewatch any of the parts of it, and then we'll follow up with you just to answer any additional questions that you have, or see if perhaps maybe you're ready to get started, or we can chat a little bit further, and then we'll also upload it to YouTube so anyone who couldn't catch it can go out and watch it, because I know we had a few folks that wanted to hop on but didn't have time. So thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight on a Wednesday. We really appreciate it, and we'll be in touch with you soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.